All right. For those of you who don't know, Hot or Not is when we discuss a game that's considered hot, one of the new hotness, one of the Daniel games, the games that are out there that Daniel can't wait to get his hands on. But this is a game that actually gets played, and we all play it, and we decide if it is worthy of being hot or is it not. And today, that game is Earth. For those of you who don't know, Earth, if you haven't heard of Earth, it's going to be hitting everywhere soon. I think they're having a really big push right now, and I'll see it. All the retailers are getting a whole bunch of them in, and it's gotten a lot of praise on different board gaming sites. So it is the new hotness. I mean, it's unquestionably the new hotness right now. So that's what we're going to talk about. And right now, here is a quick video. Tell you a little bit about how to play it. All right, this is a quick overview of how to play the game Earth. It's not going to be a deep dive into how to play it, but it'll get you going. All right, to start out with, you're creating your own island Earth environment, all right, your own ecosystem. And to do that, you've got your own player board here. What you're going to be doing is creating an island right here next to your board in a 4x4 grid of cards that you're going to line up. Once you place them, you can place them anywhere adjacent to the card that you've just placed, but then you can never move it for the rest of the game until you get your 4x4 grid done. There's also event cards, which are a one-time only use, and you just place those on your board, and some of those will be worth positive points, some of them will be worth negative points by the end of the game. And you'll also at some point be composting cards, which is getting rid of cards out of the game, and you just put them in your compost pile, and those will be worth a point at the end of the game. So there's a lot of different point salad ways that you can play this game and win, and gives you a lot of choices that way. And the flow of the game is kind of like this. If it's your turn, you have the first player marker, and you choose one of these cool actions at the top of your board. You have 4 different actions that correspond with 4 different colors, and once you choose an action, you get the top action, which is the better part. Everyone else gets the bottom action, which is just a lesser form of the same action. And then after everybody's done doing their main action, they go through, and any cards that they have that match, like if I had done an orange card, an orange color, I can activate all the orange powers on my cards. Anywhere in my island, anywhere on my board, they all activate anytime that color comes up. Once it's the next player's turn, you hand this to them, they choose which one they want to do, and then you would put, just to remind you of which one they chose, if they chose this one, you'd put your little leaf on it, and then you know which action you have to do. And this keeps going around until somebody has created a 4x4 grid and succeeded in completing their island. When that happens, you just finish the round, and the game will end. The other ways you can get points, you've also got on your on this main board here, you've got 2 more of these ecosystem cards, which were endgame scoring, and you've also got 4 fauna cards, is what they're called. And they have, it's a race to score any of these. These all qualify throughout the game. And once you've met any of the goals of those cards, you would put your leaf next to the corresponding card, and you're going to get those points at the end of the game. The only other things you need to know is that there's basically the currency of the game is soil. All the cards just cost an amount of soil. So you can see there at the top. If you have that soil, you can play it. It's really not that complicated. You got to get the soil, play the cards. Then you can make your cards worth more by putting growth on them. Growth come in the form of these little trunks that can go on some cards they cannot. If they have this little circle on them, then you can put growth on them. You can also put sprouts on your different cards. You can see the sprouts along the bottom there. This one can hold 6 sprouts. That's like the max. Each one of those is worth a point at the end of the game. But like I say, it's fairly simple gameplay just to throw it out there. And pretty much that is how you play Earth. As you see, Earth is a very heavily card-driven game, and I'll go ahead and give you my views on it right now, because we'd talked about in the past, we'd mentioned Terraforming Mars in a Play Shelf Trade. We'd talked about Ark Nova in a previous Hot or Not, or maybe it's a Great Game Debate, I can't remember which one. But this is a lot in that same vein, if you ask me, because it's a bit heavy card-driven. I mean, huge stacks of cards in this game. And you're going through them, trying to get a little bit of an engine going, trying to get... you're not really terraforming, but you're making your own little island. And it's all really cool to me how they use everything in it is real. It's real islands, it's real plants, it's real animals, and they try to make it very thematic. And to me, I thought it really was what they do, how the cards interact with each other. The event cards, especially, what they do for you is extremely thematic, and they can be very tempting to use, even though they might cost you points, but you're like, I got to play that right now. To me, Earth lives up to the hype. It is hot. I like Earth. I think it of those 3 games that we mentioned, I think it does it the best. Because I think after Ark Nova, I said the best game of this type has yet to be made. And I think now that best game is Earth. And it might be because, and I didn't even think about this before. Some people have said, well, it's like Terraforming Mars meets Wingspan. And I said, you know what? You're kind of right. I didn't even think about it before that. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because it's not as good as Wingspan. I love Wingspan, but interjecting a little Wingspan into that type of game, I think really works. And I think the way you select actions, that's why it's like Wingspan. Really, you're doing action selection, you're getting cards to the table, kind of like in Wingspan. So, but then again, it also is a lot like Terraforming Mars. And to me, like I say, it does it better than the others. I think it gives you a lot of fun. It's a puzzly game. It gives you a lot of fun puzzly choices. But unlike games like Terraforming Mars, I don't think it's hard to go through the cards and get the cards that you need. If you want to, you can find the card that you need that's really going to work for you. But that's what I've got on Earth. We'll take it around the board. Old man Chris, what say you there, buddy?
Right. Well, yeah, I would be surprised if no one's heard of Earth. If you are, you're one of our alien viewers, and thank you for tuning in. But even then, I think you've heard of Earth if you were able to find us. So regardless, also, oh boy, okay. So it is time for a very, very special episode of Storytime with Chris, baby. All right. So I'm going to pull back the veil here. I have been told, we for a long time, this is an internal discussion amongst the 4 of us about the format of the show and how things should go. And we have decided, or, well, I've been voted out every single time that we should have a small 2-minute segment, and that way we're not more than an hour, but somehow magically in 2 minutes you can get your point across. Well, that's not true. For those of you who don't know me, I am a bit of a storyteller. And to tell a good story, exactly, see, I knew it was happening, but that's fine, I'm going here. Tell a good story, you have to have context. I could just tell you, someone's asked you, hey, what's your color on the show? I could say orange. I've answered the question. Is that meaningful to you? Have you heard any context that make it interesting? No, but I meant it within the time frame. I gave you orange. But I could tell you, well, I chose orange because when I was in high school, it was one of my school colors, and I really liked that. And I could tell you about how actually red is my color, but John took red before I had a chance to, so I decided to go with orange. And that's meaningful and interesting. But within 2 minutes, all I can tell you is orange. Now. This is what I've been told, is that I will from now on have 2 minutes to tell you orange. And then, very soon, once everyone said they're orange, we'll open it up to where we have the 4 screens, and we will be able to talk ad nauseum to finish out the idea. And there will be no time limits. We will just talk until it naturally ends. This is what I've been told. I just want to let you all know that. Okay. And to answer the question about Earth, it's Wingspan 1.1. It's awful. Andy, what you got?
Wait, aren't we going into the 4 squares so we can test?
No, we're not, John. Oh, now we are. Yes, we are.
I just want to say, Orangey glad he's done talking about his color.
Hey, I like that one. Good job, John. Well done.
It's apples and oranges to me. Okay, so I, unlike Chris, understand the format, and we'll continue with it. So I'll get right to it. Earth, thoughts. It's not a bad game. Let me get that out of the way first. However, that being said, the theme doesn't do a lot for me. I feel like we've done a lot of wildlife and nature-themed games here in the last few years, and they're starting to feel really worn out. Think Cascadia, Wingspan, Ark Nova, etc. And speaking of those last 2, yeah, it felt like it had a bit of an Ark Nova and Wingspan flavor to it, as well as Terraforming Mars. And as far as mechanics are concerned, there's just too much similarity. It's another game with its own unique set of semi-complex iconography that you need to really familiarize yourself with in order to build an engine and gain points in a variety of ways. And now I know you could say that about a lot of Euro hobby games, but this one just felt way too much like these other games that I mentioned, and I feel like it really didn't improve on things enough to warrant it. Unlike John, I don't think it's the best out of them. I'm still a Terraforming Mars fan. It's hot right now, Earth is, but it won't be forever. I think it's a flash in the pan, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. It's just not something I need on my shelf. I've got Terraforming Mars. I've got Wingspan. I'm good. And just so the others don't say this, I have played the game twice now, and I have won both times by significant scores. So it has nothing to do with me performing poorly in the game. I just don't think it's anything that sexy, man. It's fine, but doesn't really do it for me. So those are my thoughts on Earth. Daniel, how about you?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the iconography again, because I think everybody needs to remember that he struggled with the iconography of Ark Nova. It is pictures of continents and animals. So
I didn't struggle with it. It's just new. It's just whatever, man.
Yeah, I know, new things to learn. What's those?
There's only so much room up here.
And the antlers.
There's not enough room.
All right. Well, Earth, I will give you my opinion right off the bat. I think it's fine. It is. I was expecting a lot. So when Ark Nova came out and it was super hyped, I was like, all right, let's try this out. And I fell in love with the game. I thought it lived up to the hype. I thought it was really exciting. So when Earth got the same kind of hype and the same kind of attention, I was really excited. I was like, this could be it. This is Terraforming Mars, but in 90 minutes, this is Ark Nova, but in 60 minutes, this could be great. And in the end, man, it just was like just another okay game for me. I really enjoy the engine building part of it, building up your tableau, but it's so lucky on which cards you're going to get. And people can say that about Ark Nova and Terraforming Mars as well, but it's just, I don't know. When one of your actions is just draw 4 cards, and then you could take another action that says draw 4 cards, like you got 8 cards in 2 turns, and then other people are taking actions that also give you cards. And you're like, I got 12 cards, and there it is. There's the 2 cards I was looking for, these 2 iconographies, but it didn't feel like I did anything. I just kept drawing cards until I got the one that I needed. And that's not enjoyable for me. And also this game is very much like a Stefan Feld type of game where everything you do gives you points. This is a point salad galore, but unlike Stefan Feld, I didn't do anything interesting to get those points. Like seriously, one of the actions is go to this location, get 5 poops, fertilizers, soils, whatever they're called, and then get 2 victory points. I got 2 victory points just for going to that spot. No, like the game's not truly challenging. You're just drawing into cards. You're building up an engine, which is fun, but in the end, it was just a big old meh to me. So, John, the fact that you think that this game is like the hottest thing since Wingspan, that's power to you, dude. But I do not see it. I do not see why this one stands out above all the other ones that have come out in that ilk that feels so much better.
Let me tell you one reason why. And it's like what you said, the access to the cards. That's when I'm playing Terraforming Mars, I'll see a card. I'm like, boy, that'd be really good. But if in order to maximize this card, I have to get A, B, and C kind of cards. And I have to be able to play it before the temperature is whatever. And after it's whatever. And it's like, well, screw that. I'm not going to do that. What are the odds? Whereas in this game, like you're saying, you have the agency to get all these cards. But then if you're looking at all those cards that you get when you're going through them, like, well, do I really want the card I was looking for? Because this one can get me 20 points if I do it right. Or if I do that. So it's like a puzzly thing where you're constantly maybe changing what you want to do. And then sometimes I just have to have the discipline to say, no, I'm getting the card I was looking for because these other ones are just too tempting. To me, that's what it is. It's like there's a whole lot of things that are pulling at
John,
you. Like,
John, you haven't played Terraforming Mars enough. You haven't played Terraforming Mars enough because Terraforming Mars has that same mechanic.
No,
it does. You can change your
you have to because you can't find the cards you want. You have to change. That's what happens. But you have no choice. This you have choice. You have
you have plenty of choices in Terraforming Mars. You just haven't played it enough, and you don't know what you're talking about. And
Believe
that's fine.
me, I played it enough.
It's all right. There's room for all kinds of people. It's a special show. So Daniel, I got to tell you that I agree with you almost completely, but I'm really offended that you would besmirch the name of Stefan Feld here. Oh. For 2 reasons. 2 reasons. 1, his mechanics are much more clever and more interesting to get points. And 2, this game
wouldn't have a hot game.
This game looks way too nice to be a Stefan Feld game.
Yes.
Yeah. So in truth, like my problem with it, like I was being obviously a little flippant because of the lead in to my point, but it really does. It feels like Wingspan 1.1. Like it feels hardly any different to me at all than Wingspan. Like you got the poops, they're just the eggs. And like Daniel said, everything's just points. Like it's not even a point salad. Like I was sitting here trying to think of a good thing because a point salad, like you still got to like make the salad and do some work. I mean, this is like a points river. You just you just jump in and water's going to cover you. No matter what you do, you're going to get a bazillion points. And it's just like, I think the defining difference truly for me with Terraforming Mars and Wingspan in this game is the draft. Like the fact that you're drafting those cards makes a huge difference, which is the same reason that I hated Ark Nova. Is like the thing that made Terraform Mars amazing for me was that draft. And the interesting choices I have to make in that draft. And I hated the little track that you have to just hope magically the one at the end works out for you, or you got to pay $1 billion. I know Daniel's told me you can manipulate it, but again, whatever.
Well,
But
the difference
again,
between
I hate it. Like, again, all 4 games feel the same. And for me, the first one still stands alone. All the rest of them are just trying to be it in different ways, or mostly they're trying to be it, but make the game so much more easy. These Wingspan and Earth are like the epitome of everything I'm not in gaming. I want my choices to be hard. I want to work hard. I want to think. I don't want to just be given 1,000,000 points. Like, again, like I feel like it's the definition of a family game. You can play with someone that doesn't have a brain or someone that does, and it's going to end up the same because you just get points for doing anything, and it drives me crazy.
And
That's
you'll
right.
note, by the way, that with Wingspan, at least the eggs look like something you would like to eat.
You don't
They
think
always
the
remind me of a
does?
candy or something.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
I
they
would
look like
like-
one of those sugary candies that I just want to, what dinner mints. They look like dinner mints.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. No, never mind. I was gonna say something. I lost it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, tell us what you think about
Okay.
Earth.
Okay, I guess Andy's going to close it out. I
John,
guess it's Andy's segment. There we go.
it is. You can close out my segment next, okay? How's that sound?
Sure.
Let us know what you think of Earth. Is it all the hotness, or did it
Yes.
leave you wanting? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. One more final thought. Earth, I know, I just had to slide this in. Terraforming Mars works because the theme is fun too. It's interesting. Earth. If I want Earth, I'll go watch Nat Geo or I don't know.
No, that's a good
Disney
point.
Earth
What is
movie.
I
the
hate
theme? You're
Earth.
just
It
growing
sucks.
plants.
That
Earth
is, I
sucks.
actually read the box to see what the theme was. There really is no theme. That is
Martians
the bad thing about it. I
Martians
was like,
rock.
what is my motivation here? Why am I, for some reason, creating my own island? I thought maybe there would be like there really is nothing. It's just.
I mean, talking about Terraform Mars, you're Terraforming
No, I'm
Mars.
talking- no, I'm
because
talking
Earth
about-
sucks.
No,
That's
I'm
why.
talking about Earth.
You're going there to make it habitable because you hate Earth. That's
No, I'm
why you're
talking
doing
That's
it.
about-
right.
I'm talking
Ooh.
about Earth. It has no.
What
it,
if-
it mentions nothing about why you're doing what you're doing.
What
There
if
are
Earth-
lasers in Terraforming Mars. Lasers.
What if Earth is the follow-up game to Terraforming Mars? It's all terraformed, and now you're making your little Mars-like islands
There you
that
go.
we
Well,
Well, then
renamed.
it wouldn't be Earth. It'd be Mars.
Yeah, just be Mars.
Look
I
out
think
for
our
Infinity
producer's going to kill
Mars.
us if we don't move on here.
Yes, let's do, please.
Hey, thanks for watching a clip from Around the Board. It's a show that comes out every other Thursday where we discuss board games and board game topics. We're awarded points, and at the end, whoever wins gets to be on their soapbox and say whatever they want. So if you want to watch the full episode, find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.